Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the series of great Champions League run done by the underdog teams against big teams. But we have already talked about Deportivo La Coruña, the biggest, for me, the best run in Champions League. I have to look the history, of course. There would be some exceptions, and there would be some more exceptional runs than Deportivo La Coruña, especially known for their comeback against AC Milan. I've made a video about them. It's the second episode of this Champions League underdog runs, and uh, this video is about Villarreal and their incredible run in 2021-22 Champions League season. See, the thing is, I've been watching football, like club football, since 2019 season. On a consistent basis, I've been watching these games. I mean, the club football for like now it's been like what 10 years now. But the first 4 years were not consistent. Now, but the last 6 years I've been immersed in this uh, type of football. I mean the club for football. I've been immersed in that. The first 4 years I was like I was like, yeah, I would watch the important games, but not the games. Not every game. So yeah, I would just watch the important games like the knockouts, and I would avoid the group stages. But the last 6 years I've been watching consistently. At least my team is Real Madrid, so I've watched every group stage match of my team for the last 6 seasons. In the Champions League, and yeah, so I have a pretty good knowledge, and I also saw the Villarreal run in 2021-22 season, and it was one of those season where it is remembered for a lot of things, but for me, it was very special because I get to see Ronaldo in Cristiano in United colors, and it was a surreal experience. I wouldn't say it was in the sense that I haven't watched him in United clubs. I've watched him play for Real Madrid. I've watched him play for Juventus. I've watched him play for even the Saudi clubs, Al Nassr, but I haven't watched him in person. Like when he was in person. I mean, I haven't watched in any of his game in person, but what I want to say is that I didn't experience him in United clubs where he was just a teenager, and busting up on the scene and becoming the best footballer on this planet. And so, yeah, it was a great experience for me and I'm happy that I get to see him in United colors. And when he was announced inside that stadium, Old Trafford, and Piraduri was commenting, if I'm not wrong, and he was saying something like that: Manchester, Madeira, Madeira, Manchester, sorry, Madeira, Manchester, Madrid, and Manchester again. He also played in Turin, so it was something like that. But the way he commented on that thing was so good to watch live, and it was one of those experiences I will never forget. Like get to watch him in the colors of a club that he was uh, became famous with, and it was a great experience. And so yeah, so in that run, fortunately, the Villarreal were drawn into the group of United, so they were drawn into Atlanta. Young Boys and Manchester United. So they played 6 games, won 3 games, drew 2 games, and lost one, and that too against United. And it was a winner by Cristiano in the last minute of the game. Sancho knocked the ball towards him, and he ducked, and then he's finished the game. I think the keeper got a hand to the ball, but still went in, and it was a great experience to watch that live because I was generally watching that. I was like, what, great, just he was scoring last minute goals in that Champions League run. Of course, that ended at round of 16 against Atletico. I thought he was not bad against both the legs against Atletico. Especially in the second leg, he was good, but he didn't get the opportunity to put the ball back out the net, and they got eliminated. But this video is about Villarreal, and we will talk about it in depth. In depth, I meant like how they did what they did. So under Unai Emery, and they have been the team that nobody wants to play against, and especially in European competition. And they have won the Europa League, defeating Manchester United a season prior to that, if I'm not wrong. But they did. I don't know what the season, but they did beat United um, in the Europa League final. And Oli, back then, Oli was the manager of United. So I could be wrong about the season, but yeah, they did defeated Manchester United and won the Europa League. So they have become the Sevilla. Now the Sevilla have lost the touch. Still to this day, last season's La Liga, Villarreal finished third and behind Barcelona and Real Madrid, and challenging the hierarchy of La Liga. In terms that Atletico Madrid used to be the fourth or the third team. Now, usually the third team. Atletico always been the third team in La Liga that most people feared, apart from the usual top two. But now they have been causing a lot of problems, especially in the league. So now they have dethroned Atletico, at least in league position. Last season they did that, and yeah, they have been doing very good at European level as well. So in 2021-22 season, so as I said, they finished the group second behind United, and then they were drawn against Juventus, Allegri's Juventus, and the first game they played in their own stadium, Sarmica, and where they drew um, Villarreal 1-1. Vlahovic scored the first goal in the first minute, and then, if I'm not wrong, it was Danzuma. I don't remember him, but I don't remember him scoring that. But someone did score, and it was 1-1 at the first leg. And then the second leg was absolutely disastrous for Juventus, and such great performance put by the manager of Unai Emery. He managed to win that game 3-0, and the players did well. There were two penalties in the game, and one scored by, I think, if I'm not wrong, Pau Torres. I think he's playing for Aston Villa now. So yeah, it was. Did I mention that Adan Zuma was very good at group stage? He scored like a lot of goals there, helping Villarreal finish second. And then the second leg, he also scored against Juventus. So they thoroughly defeated Juventus, absolutely demolished them in their own stadium. I think from that, what I recall at that position, at that time, I was thinking about how bad Juventus have become. Like they have been the team in the Champions League that nobody wants to play, and nobody you wanted to play against, and now they have become a team that everybody wants to play. And so it was not a great experience for me, because I have a certain liking for Juventus, because if you see the historical context, they have been the one of the best UCL performing teams. Like if you see the wider picture, of course they have only won the European trophy twice, but they have been participating a lot, and they have been doing a lot of great upsets here and there. Not ending with the UCL title, but they have been the team that defined this competition, and they have done great things in the past, and now they are not living up to that legacy, especially in the after people say after Cristiano's arrival, the team have become what it not used to be. But I would say the old core of defenders, Chileni, Banucci, and old players, they did not able to replace them. The Juventus could not replace them. And Dybalas and the Pogbas, they now lack these players, and now they have to find their ground and get back to being that Juventus that everyone feared. Remember that Gary Neville scored, like he was asking that which team which team progressed for the next round, and when he heard Juventus, he was like, "Nah, man, this is just not nuts, and we have to play against them." It was used to be very hard to play against Juventus. If you remember that up to the final. In Cardiff, 2017, if I'm not wrong, they only conceded one or two goal before the final. I know they got demolished in the final, four goals they conceded, but still. So yeah, I was talking about Villarreal, and yeah, they did absolutely great work against Juventus, and they progressed to the round last eight, and they were up against Bayern Munich, and they were against a team that always dominates their domestic tournaments. I know, and so the first game end up in draw. 1-1, and the second, no, the first game didn't end up in draw. The first game was 1-0 win, and to Villarreal in their own stadium, and that second game, Villarreal won 2-1 against Bayern. So they thoroughly defeated Bayern as well. People were thinking that they will get demolished or they will easily get beaten by Bayern, but that didn't happen. And I was at that time, I was feeling that Villarreal could take them. I was like, I was sort of like backing Villarreal here, and that's what happened. They took their chances and defeated the Bayern Munich. And the last game that they played in that tournament was against Liverpool, and the Liverpool were doing great things in the league, if I'm not wrong, and many of the Premier League fans at least thought that they would easily get past Villarreal, and that's what exactly happened. The first leg at Anfield, Liverpool won the game 2-0 easily by Mane, and I think it was one goal was own goal, if I'm not wrong. And then the second leg was actually a good contest against Liverpool. Villarreal put up a great contest, and they scored twice, and they leveled the things on aggregate, and then the whole thing came crashing down, and they conceded three goals and lost the tie, and Liverpool progressed to the final. But the whole run of Villarreal under Unai Emery was so good. They never looked like a team that was doing cash and grab. They defeated every team, at least on the knockouts, with proper conviction. For me, at least, I watched the game, and for me, it was proper conviction, and that was one of the runs that I remembered watching that live. Uh, it was a great run by Unai Emery, and if you have to praise Unai Emery. That guy has been winning Europa League for different teams. He's been collecting Europa League like it's Infinity Stone. He's like Thanos of Europa League, and Unai Emery, just incredible manager. And maybe he's not the manager that wins you the USCL, the European title, Champions League title, but he gives you a good. Uh, Blueprint. He gives you good setup, and he wins you Europa League. What else you need? And uh, yeah, that was the Villarreal run that I wanted to talk about. So yeah, till next video, we'll see you again, and we'll come up with another underdog UCL run. Cheers, bye.